Hello, my name is Eduardo Parra, and our group is formed by Anny Vasquez, José Roqueme, Miladis Núñez, Ashley Caicedo, Mateo Quiroz, Marcela Ramos, María Alejandra Gómez, María José Patiño, Luisa Rojas, y Ángela Taborda. Today we're going to talk about some touristic places. We're going to talk about the Quay of Puerto Colombia, Salgar, Customs, and the Lake of the Swan. I'm going to start with the Lake of the Swan. It is a body of water that in 2014 came close to drying, but thanks to some hydraulic works, the lake was saved and the construction of a linear park could be achieved. The construction of the park had a total investment of 4 billion Colombian pesos, and that's why the park had children's games, multiple courts, large green areas, and a small pier. Visiting the park became a plan for families from the city and visitors from abroad. With the construction of the park and the hydraulic works came the tourists. With the water came the birds and the animals, and after them came the nature lovers. And although the lake is named after Swan, one of those has never been seen here. But the lake is the house of some other animals like ospreys, pisingos, among others. And the lake it is also the home of 140 species.
Hi, my name is Anny Vasquez. Today I talk about Lago del Cisne, which is born of the water currents of the Arroyo Grande of Santa Rosa. This lake was about to disappear, but after several hydraulic works, it was saved. After the recovery process was built this linear park. Visit and enjoy this park is an excellent plan for all families of Barranquilla and tourists. This place is perfect to appreciate nature and share with loved ones.
I am going to talk about the Salgar Castle. Its real name is San Antonio del Litoral. It is located in the northeast of the Atlantic Department. It is located in the municipality of Puerto Colombia, Atlántico. 20 minutes of Barranquilla City, de San Antonio of Salgar Castle, and it was built in 1848 in a vertical slope of Salgar during the colonial period with two purposes. First, to control the smuggling that was increasing. Second, to protect itself from enemy attack since the cold attack Cartagena by land. It was the first custom of Colombia during the era of independence. Since Cartagena and Santa Marta were under the power of the Spanish, and it was the first port entered in the country.
Hi, my name is Ashley Caicedo. I'm going to talking about El Muelle de Puerto Colombia. Near Barranquilla, El Muelle de Puerto Colombia was inaugurated on June 15 in 1983. It was one of the most important infrastructure works in the second half of the 19th century, built by the Cuban engineer Francisco Javier Cisneros. It replaced the previous wooden one built 5 years ago. It was a 720 meters track with a dock for docking 180 meters long. This is where imports entered, which changed many of the customs of Colombians. Modernity entered in Colombia through this period.
Hi, my name is Marcela Ramos and I'm going to tell you a little about Francisco Javier Cisneros and his contribution in Barranquilla. Francisco was of great importance in the history of Barranquilla since he was a participant in the construction of the pier in Puerto Colombia. He also supported the construction of the Barranquilla Tramway, improving navigation along the Magdalena River, and organizing at the same time various steamship companies to transport passengers. Cisneros' works in Barranquilla were of great importance to the national economy.
Hello, my name is Luisa Rojas. I'm going to talking about of the aduana. In reality, the first custom office in the region were located in Sabanilla and Salgar. But around year 1760, a government decree authorized the transfer of the fees of the dependencies to Barranquilla. Leslie Oliver, the Jamaican engineer and architect who carried out the project, and the person in charge of administration, Miguel Moreno Alba. The style of aduana as such is neoclassical. In 1984, it was declared a national monument building.
Hello, my name is María Alejandra Gomez and I am going to talk about the Montoya Station. It is located at 39 number 50 B Street, Barranquilla. Okay, the Montoya Station. One of reasons why Barranquilla has been an important port for export and import of the Caribbean coast since the 19th century is the Montoya Station. The inhabitants of the city came to this station to see the Bolivar Railway for the first time. It bears the name of Montoya Station in memory the navigation businessman in the Magdalena, Don Francisco Montoya. The construct building is shaped like a train. In each cellar, a train car arrived, the first in the first, the second in the second, and so on, so that there were no stumbles when entering and leaving with the merchandise. This is the replica of the arrival and departure point of the railway that was used since 1870 to extend to a new port on the Bay of Sabanilla in Puerto Colombia. It was inaugurated on December 31st, 1870, and a day later the connection was inaugurated. At the end of the 19th century, the same time that the pier was inaugurated, Barranquilla handed over the contract to Francisco Javier Cisneros to install the train. That was like who says the transmitter of the time. which did a route similar to a triangle. It went to the east of the historic center, then it went down to 30th Street, and from there this arrived at this station. At the time, such was the importance of Barranquilla in movement, since it had multimodal transport, and was entering by sea by ships, passengers arriving here boarded the train. Barranquilla was ahead of the rest of the country. In Bogotá, there was also the train, but they didn't the seaside. The train starts with the modern train of the time and returns to a primitive one. This is because at the end 1800 they commissioned Francisco Cisneros to bring the train business and put it to work. He brings a train powered by coal, that is to say, steam. Fire and wet was what moved him. It was modern, but back then the city was small. The houses were made of mud, the thatch roof. The fire wet that was burning in the train was throwing sparks, and every day 2 or 3 houses burned. The time came when people put a stop at the fires, and they were also poor people, and possible they didn't respond properly. Then the train from the forward to the back is returned, and the steam train is adjusted for a more primitive one that was pulled by horses and mares. In 1927, there is a train pulled by horses and mares, which in turn are replaced by small cars that were conditioned as vans, and with a capacity of 8 people. This had a particular sound similar to that of a goat, and from there the expression La Shiva was born. People no longer said the bus is coming, but the goat is coming. However, little by little, due to multiple cases, the splendor of the railway was losing hegemony and was consolidated with the legal and subsequent constructions of the highway to Puerto Colombia, and the Montoya station was destined to the other uses such as school and junkyard, which caused damage to the building. At the present, it is intended to restore its appearance and importance. Thank you.
Juan Manuel de Arbes was important for Colombia and Barranquilla history and progress. He was born in Mohen, Germany in 1776 and died in Bogotá, Colombia in 1853. He participates in the meetings of the Liberator Simon Bolivar independent campaign. In addition, for his status of the official supplier of the army since 1817, it allowed him to know the potential that Barranquilla had as a river and maritime port. Later, when Colombia got independence, Simon Bolivar gave to him a bag of coffee and the stern navigation to the Magdalena River, on loan for his support in the independence of Colombia. In 1825, he began the trade in Colombia's major cities,
and opened the international markets, and that made Barranquilla the principal exporter of coffee. Thanks to that, Barranquilla became the Golden Gate of Colombia and the principal exporter of coffee in the world at that time.
Hi, my name is Angela Taborda, and today I am going talking about the Caribbean Trail Library. The CTL is an institution at the service of the education, research, and culture in the city of Barranquilla, the Colombian Department, and Caribbean. We watch basic information in various areas of knowledge. Even though it is oriented towards the social sciences in the humanities, it offers special information about Barranquilla and the Colombian Caribbean coast. His documentary and bibliographic collection was initially made up of the former information and documentation centers of the Barranquilla Chambers of Commerce and a small segment of the Atlantic, the Departmental Library. The Barranquilla Chambers of Commerce documentation of the Social Foundation, and of course one acquisition that have allowed in growth of the collection. To today, 40,000 bibliographies spread in books, magazines, and documents.